Christmas can be a very difficult time for anyone who suffers from addiction. Let me regale you, if you will give me a couple of minutes, with a story of how my typical Christmas as a gambling addict would have gone. I would promise myself in the run up to Christmas that I would abstain from gambling. I would get paid in November and have the best of intentions to get everything I need sorted, get all my presents bought, get all the food in the cupboard, and then inevitably something would distract me, possibly the seasonal drinks that we are constantly being offered at this time of year, and that would turn into something else, a session of gambling either in a pub or online when I get home or in a bookies or wherever. Unfortunately, our towns are littered with gambling opportunities, and whilst the draw of getting our Christmas shopping done may be at the forefront of our minds, as an addict it's very easy to get distracted by the calling of these particular gambling establishments. So I would then go and lose my money and then spend the rest of December stressed, trying to pick up bits here and there and get stuff sorted, beg, stealing or borrowing from other people to basically fund Christmas. And normally I would do it just in the nick of time. Normally I would get my presents. Normally there would be food in the fridge. Normally there would be stuff in the cupboards and Christmas crackers on the dining table. All right, but the stress it caused, well, it's probably the reason you can see my hairline today. So what would happen is, as Christmas approached and I lay awake at night wondering how I was going to get everything done, I would make a resolution to myself. I would tell myself that I would not be doing this next year. That next year would be different. Next year I would be prepared. Next year I wouldn't be gambling. Next year I could enjoy the build up to Christmas like it seemed that everyone else around me was doing. All these people going to parties, going on works, Christmas dues, going for Christmas drinks, meeting up with friends and family, going for meals. All these great things in the build up to Christmas I was having to forego. Or if I could attend, I was mentally absent because I was constantly in this stressed, worried state, wondering how I was going to get through to the big day, as I'd blown all my money and I'd squandered all my opportunities to really enjoy this build up to Christmas. So I'd pledge not to do it the next year. Next year would be different. Next year I would not gamble, and then this time I could really enjoy Christmas. So I would put a resolution in place. I would decide I'm not going to gamble in whatever year happened to be the next one coming up. And I would make a New Year's resolution that gambling was to be no more in, for example, 2020. And then 2020 would roll around and I'd basically fall off the wagon, and the process would repeat itself year after year after year. And it made me realise something I've spoken about before if you've been with the channel a while, but giving up gambling as a New Year's resolution is a terrible, terrible idea. You should not quit gambling as a New Year's resolution, and that's what I want to talk about today. Firstly, just want to say hi, hope you're keeping safe, hope you're keeping sane, hope you're keeping festive. And my name's Phil, if you're new around here. Thank you for everyone who continues to support the channel, like, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. There'll be a link to the Patreon, as always, in the description below. But that's enough shameless self-promotion for now. Let me tell you why I don't think, having been someone who's done it and tried it and got the proverbial failed t-shirt, why you shouldn't quit gambling as a New Year's resolution. Now, assuming you're watching this video sometime before Christmas or certainly before New Year, if you aren't gambling now, then you might look retrospectively and think of all the reasons, all the damage you've caused, or the stress you've caused, or the debt you've caused. Maybe you feel like this Christmas has already been ruined before it's really begun for you, because I know that feeling incredibly, incredibly well. So you might be thinking that this date, January the 1st, is a fantastic line in the sand. All right, the calendar flips over to a new, well, not a new page, is it? It's a new calendar. But there's a very definite line. But the date is arbitrary, and that's the underlying essence of what I'm saying here. If you have a problem with gambling, if you have a gambling addiction, if you know it's something you need to address, and most importantly, it's something that you want to address, you want to stop gambling, you want to get into recovery, if you choose to call it that, then why are you waiting till this arbitrary date? All right. There might be some actual tangible reasons, or at least in your gambling mind, it might feel like a tangible reason. If you're a sports bettor, then maybe you don't want to forgo having those bets on the football on Boxing Day, or, there's a lot of sport on this time of year. So maybe you think, well, I'll just have that. I'll just enjoy gambling, for the festive season. And then come January the 1st, that'll be it. No more gambling for me. Done. All right. But to get to that point where you want to stop gambling for a New Year's resolution, you have already acknowledged, consciously or subconsciously, that this is a problem and that abstinence is something you need to exercise. You need to stop gambling. And you want to stop. This is why but you're projecting it into the future. You are leaving a door open for the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, however long it is between you watching this video and New Year. You're leaving that window open as an opportunity to gamble, and not only will it be an opportunity to gamble, it is, dare I say, an excuse to gamble. You know, it will be like the last days of Rome in your head. Basically, every penny you can get your hands on, every opportunity to gamble, you will grasp with both hands, because it will be in your mind at least, and with your attentions, the last opportunity, or one of the last opportunities. So why not push the boat out? Why not go crazy? Well, the reason is because you'll get to New Year's skint. And you'll be starting the most depressing time of year, and probably the biggest but most important challenge you've ever set yourself. You'll be starting from the worst possible position. It doesn't matter when you're watching this video, but if it's any time before New Year, you have an opportunity to start your recovery now. You have an opportunity to build a great basis to continue your recovery next year. Yes, you might decide that you want 2024 to be completely free of gambling, and that's fantastic, and that's a great aim. But why not start now and start 2024 with a more positive feeling? Maybe start 2024 with a few days, a couple of weeks of not gambling under your belt, and give yourself a much, much better chance of success. Now, New Year's resolutions in and of themselves, be that either giving something up or doing something more positive, are inherently flawed. There's almost an air of joviality around the failure to maintain New Year's resolutions. Oh, you know, I gave up chocolate on January the 1st, but I'm munching through a family pack of Twix bars on January the 2nd, or whatever it is. All right, it's almost become a tradition that we set these things for ourselves and then we immediately fail. Okay, so by doing this as a New Year's resolution, you are almost acknowledging that this is some arbitrary thing that you're going to do for a period of time, rather than a significant life-changing improvement that you want to carry on for the rest of your life. If you're serious about abstaining from gambling, if you're serious about giving up gambling, or whatever it happens to be, do it now. All right, because we are heading into a part of the season where there will be an awful lot of opportunities, be that because you're out and about, be that because there's additional sport on, or whatever, to feed your addiction. And the same would possibly apply if you're considering giving up alcohol, or if you consider yourself an alcoholic and you know you need to quit drinking. We may see, you know, Christmas is a particularly challenging time to abstain from alcohol, but if anything, it's the most important time to abstain, because it's when your urges can be placated in the most socially acceptable way. All right. So I'm not playing, as always, I'm not saying this from a position of a high horse. It's a cycle I went through time and time and time again. I would build up to Christmas, would be stressful. It would be, you know, panic-inducing, because I wasn't sure how I was actually going to be able to feed the family on Christmas Day. I certainly wasn't sure how I was going to buy any presents. So I basically ruined the build up to Christmas, the fun bit that most people seem to enjoy. All right. I might just about get there in the end and scrape everything together and Christmas would happen. But I would promise myself I would not be in the same position next year, and the next year would roll around and it would repeat and repeat and repeat. So if you're serious about making a change for 2024, then start it now. Don't leave that door open. Don't give yourself an excuse to go out and go crazy and cause yourself even more harm and start off from rock bottom, because that is not the best place to start any form of positive change or any form of recovery. Stay safe, stay sane, stay festive. Sorry it's been a while. You can tell that my throat's still not quite right, and it's a miracle I've got through this video without having a coughing fit, so I will call it a day there. But thank you to everyone for your support, and yeah, like I say, Patreon link in the description below. But if you don't want to support me that way, then just like, subscribe, all that great YouTubey stuff, and I'll speak to you all again soon. See you soon.